Wade and I just got back from a 4-night stay at Walt Disney World, and in this video we're going to be talking about everything that we ate on our trip. So first I want to start off by saying that everything that we talk about in this video is stuff that we bought from Disney. There are a couple of meals that we may have eaten or snacks that we may have eaten that we actually brought with us. So on a lot of our Disney stays, we like to keep sandwich stuff, maybe like a fresh fruit, like grapes or bananas, and just like maybe like a granola bar, some waters, some extra like sodas. We like to keep that in the room. The majority of our food that we eat when we go on Walt Disney World trips is at Disney, because food is a huge part of the experience at Walt Disney World. The food is a huge portion of our budget, and we're going to talk about our budget, all of our expenses, and everything from this trip in our next video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And then if you haven't seen all of our vlog series, make sure you check out, I'll have like a link, and make sure you check out all of those vlogs, because we share more in those videos just of like the day-to-day things, but I did want to share that most of our meals are eaten at Disney. So that's all we're going to be talking about in this video. Let's just get started. On our check-in day, we go to Epcot. So we spend 7 hours in Epcot. We get there about midday, and of course, Wade had to start his trip with a Moosehead Pale Ale. So he went to Canada. There's a cart outside in Canada, and he always likes to get a beer here, and that is what he started the trip with. Because this day was the last day of Flower and Garden, and it is my favorite festival at Epcot, I did want to try some of the foods, and that's kind of why we planned this day specifically in Epcot. So we went over to the Isla Fresca, and I got the empanada that they had, and I would say that it was really good. I was really hungry at this point of the day, so I just was ready to eat. Wade and I we both tried this option, and both of us really liked it. It had a weird texture as far as the filling on the inside, but if you could get past that, it was a good flavor, and it was really nice. And then we went to the Tangerine Cafe because it was just next door, and we got a flatbread, and Wade did not participate in this, but this flatbread is so delicious. They've had this at this festival before, and we've had it, and I love it. So it was a really good option because I was really hungry at this point of the day. And then next we went into the annual pass holder lounge in Morocco. Since we were right there, we got a good cool off. They had water and Moroccan tea that was slightly warm that we tried, and then they had some snacks. We tried the trail mix. It was a tropical trail mix, which was really cool, and then some Chex Mix, and it was just a really nice little option to to cool off and stuff. So we snacked on that, and then I think next Wade got a pizza from the pizza window here in Italy, and we really love this pizza window. It's always really good pizza. Obviously, it's not the pizza that you would get in Via Napoli, but it's a really good slice of pizza. It's easy, it's not that expensive, and you can either sit back there out of the sun behind the pizza window and just eat it, or you can just walk around and eat it. So it's a really good option. The next thing Wade got was a beer. It was a Sweetwater gummy bear sour. It was really good. It was fruity. I'm not a huge fruity beer person, but I did try it and I really enjoyed it. It was really refreshing. So it was really good for a hot summer day like today. And then we kind of were wanting something sweet, so we stopped and got this liquid nitro cheesecake. Wade doesn't like cheesecake, so it was really me that wanted it. And I will say I had mixed reviews when I had this. It was just not cold enough. I feel like it was the best part of a cheesecake. It was just the filling basically, but they dip it in the liquid nitro, and it didn't seem to be as solid as I would have liked. I didn't want it to be frozen, but I would have liked it to be colder in the middle. It was just cold on the outer layer, and then the rest of it was just warm or just room temperature. I ate it, but it wasn't like my favorite, so I don't know if I would get it again if they had it at another festival. Then we got a violet lemonade because it was just refreshing, and I just wanted something nice and cool and refreshing to try before we left Epcot. And this day, that was basically all of the things that we ate. We got to try some festival foods, some things that we had never had, and some things that we had had over the years, and we really just had a really good day eating. So the next day, we actually planned our morning at Epcot based off of a dining reservation that we had. We were trying the Garden Grill, so we had reservations for breakfast. It was a all-you-care-to-enjoy family-style meal with characters, so we were very impressed with the meal. It's just like most character meals, but it did have like a steak that was different, and there was some different things to this, but you also have your drinks included with this meal. So after this meal, since it was so large, we didn't eat again until dinner time, and we were in Hollywood Studios for the afternoon, so we mobile ordered Backlot Express. And the meal options here are always really good, very decently priced and quick, and it's always just been something that we have enjoyed. We eat here a lot. This was not actually the choice that we had planned for this day, but because we hadn't eaten properly for the remainder of the day because of our large breakfast, I kind of started feeling sick, and last minute we mobile ordered this meal because we had had it before and we knew it would be filling and just quick and enjoyable. So Wade got the chicken strips and the french fries, and then I got this Asian rice bowl. It's really delicious. I've had it before, like I said, and you can't go wrong with Backlot Express. And also, while we were at Hollywood Studios, we did beat the heat with some treats from Joffrey's. Wade got a frozen lemonade, and I got a cold brew. Joffrey's never disappoints. It was really nice to have like a nice cold drink at the end of this really hot day. So the next day, we spent the whole entire day at the resort, enjoying the resort, and we ate all of our meals at the same restaurant. It was the Riverside meal. It's the quick service here at Riverside, and they just have such a good variety that you could probably eat there multiple times on your trip and not eat the same things. But we actually ended up skipping breakfast, kind of. We ended up kind of eating like a brunch. So by the time that we did eat the first time this day, we had different kinds of food. So I had lunch, but they were also serving breakfast. So Wade had the traditional Mickey waffles, like the bounty platter. So he did that, and then I ended up wanting something a little bit lighter because it was so hot this day that I just wanted to eat something like a salad. So I got a chicken Greek salad that they had, and it was actually really good. It was just a grab and go option that they had here, so I really liked that. So later on in the day, we ended up going to get drinks at the Muddy River Bar because we wanted to hang out by the pool. So Wade got this really fun drink that he saw. He actually wasn't even planning on getting anything. I just really wanted a pina colada. I really didn't care to have any alcohol at this point in the day, so I got a virgin pina colada. We enjoyed those drinks at the Muddy Rivers Bar, which was really nice. Later in the day, we popped into the Riverside meal to grab some snacks. Wade got a milkshake, and then I got one of the new croissants that they had around property at our resort. They had this espresso croissant, and it had like espresso powder on top, and then a little chocolate drizzle, and then on the inside it had this cream, like espresso cream. I'm not really sure what it was. It was a lot of cream, and I wasn't crazy about it. The croissant wasn't, it was a little bit drier than I thought it would be. So all in all, it was a decent snack, but it wasn't my favorite. There was several other kind of croissants along Disney property at different resort restaurants, and there were some that I really thought would be better than this one. I would probably not get this again though, so if that tells you anything. It was a nice little treat for the afternoon though. So also this day we went to the Bayou Campfire where they do marshmallow roasting with cast members, and we had marshmallows, and it was a free thing that you can do. All the resorts do it, usually nightly, and we participated in this. So I did have some marshmallows this day. Wade did not participate in it, but and they were really delicious. And then for dinner, we went back to the Riverside meal. So my choice was to get a more hearty meal. I kind of surprised myself because this is not something I would normally get, but it was something different that this restaurant had other than just chicken strip and fries like Wade got. But I got a beef with gravy. It had carrots and stuff in it, and mashed potatoes and green beans. And it really just felt so nice. Like, it was summer, but it could have been really great on a cold afternoon. It was cold in the food court, so I didn't feel like I was in the wrong elements. It was really delicious, and I would definitely get that again. So I really like that they have different options at this food court. So that's what I was trying to do here, is just try something different that they had to offer. And it just looked really appetizing that night. So I really was happy with that choice. So the next day is our last full day here at Disney, and we did the Magic Kingdom. And on this trip, I was trying to do foods that I don't normally eat often. And that's kind of like what we did this day for sure, because there wasn't much that we had ever had before. So we rope dropped Tomorrowland just to get some Joffreys. So we, of course, have had this before, but we just really like a good coffee fix most days. So Wade got the hot coffee, just a black coffee, and then I got another cold brew, and I just add half and half in it. It's really good. So we rope dropped that and had that before we had our breakfast, and our breakfast was at Friar's Nook. I don't think we've ever had anything here. If we had, it's definitely not anything that we had this day, and it's been a really, really long time. They had this breakfast sandwich. It was an egg, cheese, and sausage sandwich on a pretzel bun, and it came with tots. And because we were sharing this option this morning, we got a side of donut holes. They were cinnamon sugar donut holes, and this meal was perfect size. It was really delicious. And no, you can't sit down inside somewhere, but we had a really good spot in the shade, and really enjoyed this meal. Because Magic Kingdom doesn't have like a ton of great options. We thought this was a really decent option for breakfast, so we really enjoyed that. In the middle of the day, we were back at the resort just hanging out with our dog, just relaxing and staying out of the Florida heat for a little while. And we decided that we really weren't feeling lunch, but we did want some ice cream. So while we were walking around the resort with Remy, we decided to grab some Mickey bars. Wade got a Mickey premium bar, and I got an ice cream sandwich out of the gift shop in the resort. So we sat on the backside in the rocking chairs of the resort and just hung out. People watched. And also Remy got to partake in the ice cream treat. He had his first little bit of Mickey premium bar. Wade shared that last bit of ice cream that didn't have any chocolate on it. And he enjoyed that as well. So that was really fun. Nice little afternoon treat. We really love eating the Mickey premium bars and the sandwiches, and we try to get as many as we possibly can on our trips. Sadly, I think this was the only time we had this on this trip. So this was a bit of a shorter trip, and I guess that's why we didn't really have time to get more. Also in the summertime, I don't feel like I had more food planned out for this trip, and we didn't eat as much as I really had anticipated because it was just so hot. So your appetite just isn't as big as it is when it's cooler out. I feel a little bit more uncomfortable. So we weren't trying to eat too much, but we did get to at least enjoy this ice cream once on this trip. So I'm really thankful for that. When we went back into the Magic Kingdom for the afternoon, we had dinner at Sleepy Hollow. We've never had dinner at Sleepy Hollow. We've always enjoyed the Nutella fruit waffle in the mornings for breakfast. It's a very good shareable option. And Wade tried the hand dipped corn dog. Wade is obsessed with corn dogs, and I think he really enjoyed it. And then I got the chicken and waffle with the slaw. Both came with a side of homemade chips, and it was a really good filling option. Very easy grab and go option, and we really enjoyed it. It was about a week or two later after this trip that they took this chicken waffle off of the menu. I don't know how long that's gonna be. I don't know what the reasoning is for. They replaced it with something else, as well as the Nutella waffle that I mentioned just a moment ago. I'm not really sure why Disney did that. Everybody was quite bummed about it. I thought it was both of them were really good options. I did think that because they have to make so many at a time to continue to pump out as many as they possibly can for the guests, as fast as they possibly can, the waffle is always a little bit soggier than I wanted, but the chicken on this one really made it delicious. So I felt like it was a really great option. Unfortunately, at this time, you cannot get this. So that's kind of a bummer. We ended up treating ourselves to some lemon ice cream. Storybook Treats always has like some really cool options. They have Dole Whip options or soft serve options. We always just call the soft serve all Dole Whip. We ended up getting a lemon Dole Whip on a cone. They had the lemon ice cream back for a Rapunzel style dish with like vanilla and whipped cream and berries. Everybody said that was delicious, but we've had the lemon cone like years ago, and it was another Rapunzel style ice cream, and it was just really good. And I didn't want all the extra toppings that the other dish had, so all we did was ask, hey, can we get the lemon dole on a cone by itself? And of course they did, and they just charged us like they would any other cone that they would do, and we were able to get that treat like we had enjoyed years ago. Because they had that option. So if you see something on a menu like that, a lot of times they'll be able to give you that if you ask. So that's what we did this night. We enjoyed our lemon cones, and that was everything we ate at the Magic Kingdom for our 4th day at Disney. The day that we checked out, the very next day, we did get to enjoy coffee and beignets at Riverside Sister Resort, the French Quarter. And this is not the first time that we've had beignets here, but it has been a lot of years since we've been there. So because this is just walking distance, you just walk along the Sassagoula River on this pathway, and it leads you right over to the French Quarter. It took us about 15 minutes from our room. Our room was in the middle of the Riverside Resort, so it could be closer to your rooms or it could be further from your rooms, but it's just a short little walk over. We got to get coffee, we got some beignets. They have so many different variations, but we got the just the basic beignets with powdered sugar. They came with a sauce. We did get the chocolate ganache sauce, but we have never been fans of dipping sauces with our beignets. We just like them plain. I do like to add honey to mine when we have them at home. We make them at home a lot, and I like honey with them, but they didn't have an option for honey, and the chocolate just wasn't that. I mean, the chocolate probably was good if you had it by itself. I didn't think the chocolate was bad. I just like the variation of chocolate with the beignets wasn't something that we were interested in. So we kept the chocolate off, just tried it that one time, but we enjoyed our last Disney meal here on property for this stay. That was a lot of food for such a short trip. And like I said, we really anticipate the food as a part of our experience here at Walt Disney World. So we like to eat Disney for most of our snacks and most of our meals. And we do bring a couple of things to have in the room on hand, just have like an extra drink or an extra snack just in case. But for the most part, we eat most of our meals here on property, and we like to plan them out, but then also we just kind of try to keep things as loose as possible if we need to just kind of do things as we go. So we do like to go in with a plan. I like to look at the menus. The menus are forever changing at the quick services and at the table service restaurants. And we always like to look at the menus just to make sure we know what the options are, because when you're in these theme parks and they're busy and it's hot, and you've spent the whole day there, you kind of want to know what you're getting into, what your plan is. But yeah, that's kind of what we ate for this trip, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So make sure you stick around for our video where we talk about the budget and all of the costs that we spent on this trip. It's going to cover food expenses, it's going to cover travel expenses, our resort room, and the souvenirs that we got. So it's going to cover everything that we spent on this trip, kind of how we budget, and all of those things. So stick around for that, and thank you guys for following along, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.